I bet you didn't know that the US government needed to bring down the Twin Towers in order to carry out its attack on Afghanistan and extract the gold or other minerals. Self-attack of September 11th.
Demolition of the World Trade Center by the United States-owned secret agencies.
The September 11, 2001 attack in New York was one of the most shocking events in modern US history. However, since that fateful day, there have been many conspiracy theories that question the official version of what really happened. One of the most controversial aspects of the attack is the idea that it was a self-perpetrated attack by the US government itself, with the aim of justifying the war in the Middle East for economic and political gain. In particular, much has been said about World Trade Center Building 7, which mysteriously collapsed without any plane hitting it. The official version of the Pentagon impact has also been questioned, as has the list of alleged terrorists said to have piloted the planes. These conspiracy theories have been the subject of much controversy and debate, and have led many people to question the official version of the events of 9/11. In this article, we will explore some of the arguments behind these conspiracy theories and analyze the scientific evidence behind them. Let's rather start with what Israeli, Pakistani and Pakistani secret services. A work from afar, consented or gestated inside the US. The theories that question the official version are innumerable, but there are two that collapse the internet. One suggests that the executive was aware of the attacks and allowed them. Another, that it was an inside job. Objective, the invasion of Iraq. That is what critics and theorists of 9/11 claim, many of them within the so-called 9/11 truth movement. For example, stock market movements in previous days. Where did the money used in the 9/11 attacks come from? The final report does not answer it, so the conspiracy followers do not hesitate to use the question as another argument. Dollars and more dollars make it inevitable to talk about the stock market. They claim that, days before the disasters, there were strange movements related to airlines involved in the attacks or companies based in the World Trade Center. Assuming that there were people who knew what was going to happen, they could have tried to profit from it. The commission qualified these transactions as not relevant, but these people detail that the shares of United Airlines, one of its planes hit the South Tower and another crashed in Pennsylvania, fell by 42%, while those of American Airlines, North Tower and Pentagon, fell by 39%. In some cases, these sales transactions were carried out with Morgan Stanley Dean Witter and Company, a company that occupied 22 floors in the World Trade Center. The proceeds from these moves would amount to hundreds of millions. But if we are talking about money and the World Trade Center, one name cannot be left out, that of Larry Silverstein. This is the tycoon who rented the Twin Towers about 2 months before the attack. For the contract, he acquired a $3.5 billion insurance policy. But this would only be collected in the event of a terrorist attack. There is testimony that without this insurance, he would not have been able to close his lease. Silverstein has also been the subject of much controversy, especially after an interview where he said, "I remember getting the call from the fire chief saying they might not be able to stop the fire. And I said, we've already lost too many lives. Maybe the smart thing to do would be to get them, the firefighters, out." They made the decision to take it, Building 7, down. Many put the kibosh on the word, pull them out, as if he were giving permission for the collapse of the towers. However, on the other side of the world, an actor posing as Bin Laden proclaimed himself the author of the attack, when in fact the towers contained explosives planted by CIA agents and planes prepared in advance, ready to crash. 1. Collapse at 5 p.m. of the Third World Trade Center Tower 7 without a single person being present. World Trade Center Tower 7 without any aircraft touching it, in the same manner and at the same free fall speed as the Twin Towers fell. 2. Controlled demolition-style collapse of the three towers is visible to the naked eye. 3. Seizure of videos showing explosions far below where the planes hit and where melted metal is seen falling. Jet fuel never melts metal. 4. Traces of thermite, a powerful explosive used in the military demolition industry, found in the white powder ejected from the collapsing towers. 5. Al-Qaeda is the name given by the CIA to the Mujahideen movement that fought against the Soviet Union in the 80s. Hypocritical cover-up media lie. 6. The US is running out of oil and planned the attack to plunder the oil fields of Iraq, trade in human organs and take over the poppy, opium, drug fields of Afghanistan, which they export to countries like China to weaken their cheap labor force. 7. What hit the Pentagon was not a plane. Silenced witnesses saw a missile tele targeted at a construction area of the Pentagon where there were almost no offices. That is why only a hole was seen and not the wing marks of the alleged plane. 8. After the self-attack, the relatives of the real bin Laden, Bush's oil partners, were given facilities to leave the US and not answer to the press. 9. Presentation on TV of a fraudulent list of alleged terrorists who flew the planes, when most of them were not even in the US. September 11, 2001 marked a before and after in the history of the United States and the world. But what was behind the attacks on the Twin Towers?
Was it really a terrorist act perpetrated by Al-Qaeda, as we have been led to believe by the media and the US government?
Or was it a self-assassination operation carried out by CIA agents to justify the invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan, plunder their natural resources and expand their economic and military power in the world? From the collapse of Building 7 of the World Trade Center without having been touched by any aircraft, to the presence of explosives in the remains of the Twin Towers, there are many unknowns that remain to be solved. And that is precisely why it is important to continue investigating and demanding the truth. Why were the videos showing explosions underneath the areas hit by the planes seized? Why were traces of thermite found in the white powder ejected by the towers when they collapsed? Why was bin Laden's family allowed to leave the United States without answering the press? It is time to stop accepting imposed truths and question the facts with a critical and free mind. Join this fight for the truth and subscribe to our channel and activate the little bell to continue exploring these issues and discover the truth behind the lies. Unraveling the unexplainable.